Final call now for takeoff, please. Boarding at gate number 73. He's all
Captain Wright to orbiting space control. Captain Wright to orbiting space control. The Sunshine ship is now ready for takeoff clearance and instructions. Come in, please, space control. Over.
Space control to Captain Wright. We have a slight tie-up in the airways, so hold on and I will clear you as soon as possible. Over.
Thank you, space control. This is the Sunshine ship. Over and out. Well, Miss Joy, how are things in the rest of the ship? All under control?
Oh, yes, Captain Wright. The passengers are all secure and ready for the takeoff.
Good. I'll check with Lieutenant Gyro and Bolt and see if they're ready to go. Captain to Navigator. Captain to Navigator. Do you read me, Lieutenant Gyro?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir, Captain Wright. Navigator is set. We have a 5-mile-an-hour wind from the north, and visibility is about 3 miles. It looks real good from here, sir. Over.
Good, Lieutenant Gyro. Lieutenant Bolt, is engineering ready for takeoff?
Yes, sir. I've checked all of the systems, and they appear to be in good working order. So all functions are go and ready for takeoff. Over.
Thank you, Lieutenant Bolt. Over and out. Well, Miss Joy, it looks as if we're all set.
Yes, sir, Captain Wright. Oh, I'm just so excited. Washington, D.C. is one of the most interesting places to visit that I know of. Don't you think so?
It's kind of funny, Miss Joy. I've flown into Washington lots of times, but I've never really had a chance to see as much of it as I would have liked to, so I really don't know that much about Washington.
Oh, it's a wonderful place, Captain. Well, it's the capital of our country, and it was named after our first president, George Washington, who wore wooden false teeth. And when he was dying, the doctors put leeches on him to suck out the bad blood. Oh, I know you're going to enjoy Washington, D.C., Captain.
This is Space Control to the Sunshine ship. Space Control to the Sunshine ship. Do you read me?
I read you, Space Control. This is Captain Wright speaking. Over.
Sunshine ship is now clear for takeoff on Space Pad 4. Good luck, Captain. Space Control, over and out.
Roger, and thank you, Space Control. Are you buckled down, Miss Joy?
Yep.
Okay, let's go over the checklist. Thermal control?
Check.
Pressure stabilizer?
Check.
Laser system?
Check, Captain.
Okay, radiation shield? Check. Energy bonds? Check. Force field? Check. Here we go.
Smooth as ever, eh, Captain?
Smooth as ever. I better check with Lieutenant Gyro about our course. Captain to Navigator. Captain to Navigator. Do you read me, Lieutenant Gyro?
Yes, sir, Captain.
How does our course look, Gyro?
Well, it looks good from here. Yes, indeed. It looks very good from here, Captain. That reminds me, Captain Wright?
Yes, Lieutenant Gyro.
Well, Captain Wright, I'm going on one of those guided tours of Washington when we arrive, and they gave me this questionnaire to fill out. And there are a few questions here that I'm not so sure of their meaning, so I thought maybe when you had a little free time, you could come down and help me.
I'd be happy to, Lieutenant. I'll come back in a few minutes.
Thank you. And over.
You seem to know quite a lot about Washington, D.C., Miss Joy. Did you ever live there?
Yeah, for 2 whole months. And you know, I didn't know very much about it then, but now I know quite a bit. Did you know they make our dollar bills right there? And in fact, George Washington's picture is right there on the $1 bill.
No kidding. Hey, you're right.
No, you're Captain Wright. I'm Miss Joy.
Well, that's right. I am. I better go check on the passengers and see what Lieutenant Gyro's problem is. You take over for a few minutes, and I'll be right back.
Okay, Captain. You know, there's a giant statue of Abraham Lincoln in Washington, D.C., at a place called the Lincoln Memorial. And when we get there, I'm going to ask Captain Wright to pose for a picture next to it for me. I think it'll be really cute because the captain sort of reminds me of a modern-day Abraham Lincoln. So strong and honest. Say, maybe you'd like to see the course we're flying to get to Washington. I'll just get the computer to automatic pilot and show you on the chart over here. We took off here in Utah at the Salt Lake International Airport. Then we cut down over Colorado, and now we're right about here over the state of Kansas. Next, we will fly to Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and when we get to Virginia, we will start our descent towards Washington, D.C. at the Dulles Airport. Which, by the way, was named after that great man, John Foster Dulles, who was one of our best secretaries of state. Anyway, that's our course. I'd better get back to the controls. Everything okay in the ship, Captain?
Okay. And I think I got Lieutenant Gyro straightened out with his little problem. Say, you'll never guess who's riding along with us today. Professor Thaddeus P. Stubblefield.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He's on his way to Washington with one of his new inventions.
Well, what is it?
Gee, I really don't know. Say, maybe if we asked him, he'd come up here and show it to us.
Oh, boy, do you think he would?
Well, he always has liked you, Miss Joy, and I'll bet if you asked him, he'd say yes.
Okay.
Navigator to Captain! Navigator to Captain!
I read you, Lieutenant Gyro. What's up?
I've gotten a report from Weather Control that we are approaching an unstable air condition ahead, so we may be hitting a little air turbulence soon.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Over.
Hey, Gyro, what's the problem? Oh, no real problem. We just have... Well, look here on my chart, Bolt. I'll show you. You see, when the jet stream comes over an area like here, the winds at the center are moving towards the east at about 100 to 200 miles per hour. So when we're flying east, we want to ride those fast-moving winds to conserve our energy. Okay, but why the turbulence? The winds on the edges of the jet stream are going a lot slower. So when we have all these winds meeting at different speeds, it gets a little rough to fly through. And there you have it. Air turbulence. Isn't there some other ways that air turbulence can be caused? Sure. At lower levels, when a bunch of cold air meets up with a big bunch of hot air, the winds start moving, and once again, air turbulence. That's the kind of weather condition that causes thunderstorms and lightning, isn't it? It sure is. That's because all of the static electricity in the air. Yeah. I'll tell you, I remember the time I was flying my little single-engine plane down in Texas when I was hit directly by a lightning bolt. Boy, that was something. My instruments went out and I couldn't even get my landing gear down. Boy, how did you get out of that mess? Well, I flew along for a while, but the storm was getting worse and my gas was getting low, so I knew I had to take it down. So I dropped my altitude until I was flying just above the rooftops of the houses below. And then I saw this wide, dead-end street ahead. So I killed my engine and took her in for a perfect belly landing. Boy, that was some real quick thinking. But I don't think that type of thing could happen on the Sunshine Ship. You're right about that, Gyro.
Captain, the professor said he'd be happy to show us his new invention. He's getting it ready now.
Great. Oh, Lieutenant Gyro tells me we might be hitting a little air turbulence ahead, so you'd better switch on the fasten seatbelt sign and tell the passengers.
Okay, Captain. This is Miss Joyce speaking. We may be hitting a little air turbulence ahead, so if you will please note the fasten seatbelt sign, which is now lit. Thank you.
Atta girl.
Gosh, I'd better go check on the passengers and see that they're all buckled down.
Good thinking, Miss Joy.
When I was younger, I was really confused because there was a state called Washington and a state called Washington, D.C. You're still confused, Gyro. What do you mean? Washington, D.C. isn't a state. Oh, it's a city? Well, Gyro, it's not exactly a city either. Then what in the galaxy is it? It's a district, the District of Columbia, D.C. Boy, Volt, that must be a strange place to live. Not a city, not a state. Yeah. It sure is going to be fun taking that tour of Washington when we land. Say, I'll bet if you call the travel agency when we land, you could join up with the tour. I mean, after all, it's good to know as much about our capital as you possibly can. You may have something there, Gyro. I'll check into it.
Oh, Captain Wright!
Professor? Come on in.
Oh, Captain Wright! Oh, I'm sorry about barging in on you like this, but that wonderful Miss Joy, she said you wouldn't mind.
And she was right. Have a seat. You're always welcome in the cabin of the Sunshine Ship. How have you been, Professor?
Oh, just fine. I'm quite enjoying my flight, you know.
Oh, you are a long ways from England.
Oh, I am indeed. But I'm on my way to Washington to show them my invention.
A new invention? What is it?
Oh, it's my answer to the worldwide power shortage.
Well, if you have the answer to the power shortage, why didn't the British government want to buy it from you?
Well, I thought of that, and believe me, Captain Wright, I tried, but, well, they were too short-sighted. Oh, yes, they didn't see the potential of my invention. Oh, it's a pity they were too short-sighted.
Well, gee, it sounds pretty important. What is it?
Oh, it is important. Why, it's an energy machine.
An energy machine?
Yes, and I've got the working model right out here. Would you like to see it?
I'd love to.
Oh, don't go away, Captain Wright. Don't go away. It's right here in the hall. Oh, here it is. It's marvelous, Captain Wright. Absolutely marvelous. Why, this little device will make the name Thaddeus P. Stubblefield a household word around the world.
Boy, that's really impressive looking, but what does it do?
Oh, well, it's really very simple. You see, this glass radiating dome...
Now, that looks like a light bulb, Professor.
Well, it is a light bulb, but that sounds so unscientific, don't you think? Well, anyway, this entire machine will convert a special kind of energy and make it light without electricity.
Without electricity?
I say, is there an echo in here?
Well, what makes it work, Professor?
Cabbage gas.
Cabbage gas?
Oh, I say, there it is again. There is an echo in here. Oh, well, let me show you how the cabbage gas makes the machine work, and then you'll know how it goes, too. Well, first of all, we must plug this in. It takes a little bit of electricity just to get it going. Now, let's see. I have here some cabbage leaves. I always carry a couple with me for a demonstration, you know. Now, I place the cabbage leaf here on the first power conveyor, where you can see it's taken inside the machine. Oh, there it goes. It always takes a little work. Oh, I'm started right now.
What's this?
Oh, well, you see, out of the second chamber comes all the ground cabbage. Yes, these are cabbage particles, which then come over here and drop down into the funnel. They're transferred into the bottom, around into the power chamber. Now, listen. The gas is now working its way right...
That's amazing!
Amazing!
Yes, there is an echo around
Oh,
here.
you heard it. too.
Well, Professor,
Yes?
how much cabbage do you figure it would take to run an average household?
Well, I had it figured out once. Just a moment. It would take, exactly... Oh, yes. 1,000 heads of cabbage.
Is that per month?
No, per hour.
Per hour?
Yes.
Well, then that's 24,000 heads of cabbage a day, or 8,760,000 cabbages per year.
Just a moment. Coming down. Oh, quite right, Captain Wright. Quite right. Oh,
Well,
yes.
now, Professor, where would we grow enough cabbage to run all your energy machines?
Oh, it's quite simple, Captain Wright. I've got it all figured out. Yes, can't you see it now? What we will do is develop a whole floating farm, in fact, hundreds of floating farms of cabbage, and place them out on the ocean. Think of it, a nation, a continent of cabbage. I can see it all now, can't you? Cabbagelandia!
That's great, Professor, that's great. I wish you the best of success.
Oh, thank you so much, Captain Wright. I know it'll be a big success.
Boy, I hope so.
Oh, I was wondering, just one final favor.
Oh, sure, anything.
I was wondering, perhaps since I've never been to Washington before, you might have some materials here, some information to tell me about the city.
I was just going to punch up Connie, my computer.
Yes.
And we're going to program a thing on Washington, D.C. and show a little film to all the passengers. Would you like to take a look?
That would be splendid.
Great.
Oh, I'll just get my machine ready here and take it. Oh, the turbulence, Captain Wright! Oh, the turbulence! Oh, my goodness, my machine! I almost blew it.
Well, Professor, you know what I always say. A miss is as good as a miss. Well, Professor, I think you'd better go back and sit down and buckle up so nothing else happens.
All right.
And you can see the film from back there.
Oh, thank you so much. You've been most
Well, thanks for showing me your machine. Oh,
Yes?
Professor,
Yes?
when we land in Washington, do you think you'd like to join me for a little glass of milk?
Oh, that would be jolly good, Captain Wright. Jolly good.
Okay, we'll see you when we land.
Okay. Cheerio!
But don't drop your machine. That Professor Stubblefield is really something. I'll tell you, once he invented this car that could drive itself without any people. Well, he had it driving around the city one day, and when it came back in the driveway, there was a policeman following it, and he gave the car a ticket for driving without a license. That Professor Stubblefield.
We're shaking a bit, aren't we, Captain?
We sure are. How are the passengers doing?
Real well. I told them we'd be showing a little film on Washington, D.C. pretty soon.
Good idea. It'll keep their mind off the turbulence. Say, why don't we just relax and take a look at it ourselves?
Good thinking, Captain.
Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. And this is the Capitol building. George Washington laid the original cornerstone himself when the building was started in 1793. There are lots of statues in Washington, and most of them are of heroes who defended the country. Speaking of defense, this building is a Pentagon, where the business of defending the United States goes on. The building is called Pentagon because it has 5 sides. Then there is the State Department, where the foreign policy of the country is carried out. The Secretary of State, who is appointed by the President, is the boss here, making sure that Americans are taken care of all over the world. This is where the passports come from. The Supreme Court building houses the most important judges in the nation. These Supreme Court justices decide whether or not the laws are fair for all the people, and not just a few. This building is a building of justice. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is the home address of the President of the United States, the White House. Most of the presidents lived right here in this same beautiful house, and many of the rooms are exactly as they were when they left them. A guest of the White House might spend the night in the same room that Ulysses S. Grant once slept in so many years ago. The White House. Great to live in, but a lot of responsibilities come along with it. There are other places in Washington that everyone should see. Monuments to 3 great presidents. The Lincoln Memorial, built in 1922. This structure has 36 columns, each representing the states in the Union at the time when Lincoln was assassinated. Abraham Lincoln. His statue sits erect and still under his memorial. Over 1 million people come to see it every year. Another one of our great presidents honored by a monument is Thomas Jefferson. He was the 3rd president of the United States and was one of our country's first great liberal leaders. This building, the Jefferson Memorial, was dedicated April 13, 1943 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in honor of Jefferson's 200th birthday. Inside the domed building of Vermont marble stands the 19-foot statue of this great president. Last but not least, a short distance away from Jefferson's memorial is the Washington Monument. It stands 555.5 feet high, a tribute to our first president, the symbol of our country's government and capital, George Washington, the father of our country.
Gosh, that was a fun film. And wow, Washington, D.C. has more statues and monuments than I've ever seen in one place before.
It sure does. But of course, it is the capital of our country. Oh, Miss Joy, when we land in Washington, how would you like to join the professor and I for a glass of milk?
Oh, Captain, do you mean it?
Sure. You know, I always enjoy your company, and I'm sure the professor would love to have you along.
Oh, Captain, I almost forgot. I have an old girlfriend that I used to go to school with that lives in Washington now, and she gave me some tickets to the senatorial masquerade ball. And I didn't have a chance to get a hold of you before we took off. So if you could go with me, I've already gotten you a costume, and it's going to be so much fun. And there'll be all sorts of important people there, like senators and congressmen, and oh, please go with me, Captain.
Wow, I'm taken back. I'd love to go to the ball with you, Miss Joy.
Oh, wonderful, Captain.
What have you got there?
It's your costume. You're going as General George Washington. Try it on, Cap.
Well...
Come on, Captain.
Okay. How do I look?
Oh, great, Captain. You make a perfect George Washington.
Well, thank you. But what are you going as?
Me? I'm going as the lady who made the first flag of the United States of America, Betsy Ross. How do I look, Cap?
Betsy, you can sew my flag anytime.
Oh, thank you, Captain. We're going to have a ball at the ball.
Navigator to Captain. Navigator to Captain.
I read you, Lieutenant. Come in.
We're about to reach our point of descent, Captain. Lieutenant Volt and I are going over our final checks for landing.
Good, Gyro. Keep me posted.
Let's see. 30 degrees west to 1,500 feet. 52. And there. I'm set, Volt. How about you? Well, let's see. Landing systems all seem to be in order. Electrical systems check. Looks good here, too. I'll tell the captain. Engineer to captain, come in, please.
I read you, Lieutenant Bolt.
We are set in engineering and in navigation for landing. Over.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Over.
Say, Volt, did you hear about the masquerade party that Miss Joy is going to tonight with the captain? Yes, I did. It sounds like a lot of fun to me. Yeah, it's too bad that we never get invited to any of them big parties like that. It really makes me mad. Oh, come on, Gyro. Why should anyone want to invite you to a big celebrity party? I mean, you're pretty important as navigator of the Sunshine Ship, but really... You, Volt, are just like everybody else. No one seems to appreciate the job that I do. Why, without a navigator like myself, everyone would be lost in the air. Just a bunch of lost souls. Don't be so dramatic, Gyro. It's not the end of the earth, you know. Well, maybe not for you, but I'm just tired of being lost in the shuffle.
Miss Joy to navigator and engineer, do you read me?
Roger, Miss Joy. Yes, we read you, Miss Joy.
I have a couple of tickets to the masquerade ball tonight in Washington. And if you guys want to go, I have a couple of costumes that I picked up for you.
Boy, I'd love to go, Miss Joy, sure. That's affirmative here, Miss Joy. Thank you.
Great. It's going to be loads of fun. Over.
See there, Volt. I knew all the time that Miss Joy was planning on inviting us. Didn't I tell you? Oh, really, Gyro?
This is the Sunshine Ship to Space Control. Captain Wright to Space Control. Do you read me?
This is Space Control to Captain Wright. Come in, Captain Wright.
Yes, we're ready to make our approach to Dulles Airport, and we wish instructions and clearance. Over.
Yes. Spacepad 2 is now clear for your ship, so you should circle and make your approach from the southeast. Over.
Thank you, and over. We're ready for landing. You better tell the passengers.
Right, Captain Wright. This is Miss Joy speaking. We're about to land in the John Foster Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C. So you will please note the fasten seatbelt sign and extinguish all cigarettes. On behalf of the captain and crew, we'd like to thank you for flying the Sunshine Ship and hope you have had a pleasant flight. Thank you.
Miss Joy, you are truly a joy.
Oh, Captain, cut it out.
Say, you'd better buckle down yourself.
I almost forgot.
Well, we're all set. Let's take her down.
Okie dokie. Smooth as ever, eh, Captain?
Smooth as ever. And thank you for flying the Sunshine Ship with us this week. We hope you'll join us next week when we fly to... Where are we flying to next week, Miss Joy?
Next week, we're flying to Egypt, where all the pyramids are. In fact, I think we're going to show you a little film so you can see what they look like.
And who knows, we may even have a special passenger that can tell us a little something about these giant statues made at the time of the pharaohs. Well, thanks for flying with us, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us. Hopefully see all of you next week. Fly